are living in slavery. There will always be times that you are walking in a wilderness in between. Bimidbar is the word place. You will have times where you're confronting those, but you don't have to choose to want to live there. You go back and look at Joseph. They took him, sold him into slavery, and in that slavery, he ended up being in a prison. But in the midst of it, he never quit expressing who God was. He's in prison, and two of Pharaoh's closest people have dreams. And he says, well, wait a minute, I can interpret dreams. Just because I'm here doesn't mean my gift's going to quit working. Whatever mess you're in, that's when your gift needs to work. All he said to him after he interpreted it to him, both of them, one good, one bad, he said, just remember where you got this revelation, because it's going to happen in 3 days. Now, that's the type of prophetic revelation God is calling us into at this time. This is going to happen in 3 days, and you need to remember. One of you will be restored fully and go back in the palace. One of you is going to be hung on a tree, and they're not even going to recognize you died. He said, but when this happens in 3 days, remember me. Remember, it was God that told you this. Well, one of them was hung on a tree 3 days later. One of them ended up back in the palace and never said a word about Joseph. Until, everybody say until. There will come a moment that God makes sure that when you exercise your gift, it will be remembered. Years later, Pharaoh has a dream. See, God can work with the highest level authority in the land till they need his kingdom people to reveal to them what God is saying to them. There'll come a time Pharaoh has a dream. Nobody can get this dream. And all of a sudden, the cupbearer, when he's bringing him his wine, and he hears that Pharaoh's had a dream, says, wait a minute, 2 years ago, I met a guy in prison that can interpret dreams. We better go get him out so he can help you in this situation. Let me tell you something. God knows when to remember how to get you out. One of my favorite verses, it said, Joseph shaved. Now, the Hebrews didn't shave. Joseph had adopted the Egyptian customs so he could be used in Egypt. Some of you so resist being what you need to be where God has put you. Sometimes you're going to have to learn, you're going to have to be what He wants you to be so His voice can be heard through you. It says Joseph shaved. Joseph changed his garment. That right there means Joseph put on the identity and authority that God had destined for him to put on from the beginning. There will come a time in your circumstance that if you have remained faithful to the Lord, He will be seen with you wearing Him. And Joseph said, I've gone through slavery, and the prison wasn't any better, but they calling me up to the palace. You need to look at somebody and say, they're calling me up to the palace.